Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Pick up your logo merchandise by heading over to abvnetwork.com, clicking on Shop, and start filling your basket today. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for something for yourself, a customized gift, or logoed items for your business gift shop, the Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. That's the number 2 in the Bar to Go. Don't forget our friends at Neely Family Distillery now ship their unique distilled spirits directly to you. To order yours, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we mail it in for Friday the 13th. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Igley, along with our special guests, Katie Joyce, Joe Ferreira, and Jeff Kaplan.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hello. So, yes, Friday the 13th. One of my favorite movies growing up. I liked Friday the 13th. When I took a film class in high school, we had to... You're not a fan? This was like grade school stuff. So
it's like an 80s movie.
Yeah. When I was in high school, we had to make a movie. I made a movie called Friday the 13th, The True Story. And we wrote to the composer of the music. And, the...
Yes. Stop
all that stuff. and we asked if we could use the music and how much it would cost. And of course, we're just high school kids. And he was like, for a student project, no charge. Well, we thought that was we got an A on that project because we had the letter from
the real music.
Yeah.
Most of the time
we had the rights to use the
for educational purposes. A lot of times you can get past the copyright issue, but yeah, continue. Sorry.
It's good to have a lawyer on the team.
Oh yeah. So do you feel like there was some exposure there for us, Katie? Could we have gotten sued still?
No. I'm saying I think you were double covered because you asked permission and you're using it for educational purposes. In certain situations, you can use things for educational purposes, but not commercial purposes.
But you're not making money on it, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
We were really bad filmmakers, and it showed. But we had a teacher that was very forgiving of stuff. She's like, we'd screw up, some of the edits and cuts and things like that. And the teacher was like, I like that cut there. That's very Hitchcock-esque the way it's like, we just screwed that up. We didn't have to take the final or anything. We're mailing it in for the show. We got to mail in that class after we did it. We're the only one that selected to make a movie. And it was cool. We just had, my parents had a second home, so we filmed most of it down there. It was out in the woods and stuff, so we filmed that. My dad was a cop, so there was a scene where a cop came in, and we used him in his police car and stuff. So it was, we used what we had, which was cool, and I've still got it. I just actually found it the other day. A friend of mine put it on DVD when I was. Yeah, we'll have to watch that sometime. And yes,
I would love to see this.
It's horrible, but yes, yeah. So
we'd definitely love to see this.
Filmed in '85, and you really need.
There are worse things on Netflix, I'm sure. True. I would love to see it.
You need to have me in the corner though, explaining what you're seeing sometimes. So yeah.
Editor's cut.
Yeah.
Right.
I made a movie back in high school where we did a take on Godzilla movies called It Came from Japan. We bought a snake, and my friend had an abandoned house that his family owned. So we filmed in there, and we were knocking down walls at one point when the snake was on top of the house. But luckily, the house didn't collapse on us. Right. And we got an A on it also.
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff was fun. Well, that was back when you could do anything. I'm in high school and I want to be a big time movie director. You could still be that at that point. Right. You could still, the world's still all open to you. Now, you have a different look about things. But back then, man, I think I could do this. So it was cool. It was really fun. I enjoyed that.
I did a video as kids. It was the apathetic superheroes. And I was the villain. I was Dr. Claw.
Okay.
I had this giant stuffed lobster. We had another family we got together at Christmases and a few other holidays, and so we would just decide to make our own movie each Christmas. It was a lot of fun.
Gosh, you guys made cool shit. We had a news station for our high school, and I was only the weather girl. You guys did cool shit.
The weather girl. Okay.
I was the weather girl for my high school.
There you go.
I was into filmmaking and also Photoshop. My daughter was 5. We bought her first camera. I taught her how to use Photoshop at 6.
Wow.
And she's 32 now. She's still making, like, she does all the like music videos for all the bands up here where we are in New Paltz.
That's super cool.
When she went to college, she went and took a Photoshop class and a multimedia class, and the instructor was like, just help the other students, because she was already because I spent, when she was 6, I was teaching her how to do Photoshop. She had a camera. We bought her the editing package for Apple. I can't think what it's called, Final Cut. She was like 10 years old using Final Cut.
Yeah,
I'd never learned how to use it, but and so she made these films, and it was just really funny. Every now and then, I would get called into action to help her, and she was making one movie that was a take on, I think it was the book called The Pearl.
Oh.
But it was about this guy who finds a bag of cocaine. She's like 14 making this movie. And she's filming, and it's getting dark, and she sees me pulling up, and she just starts screaming, "You! Get the car over here! I need the lights!" And she had me turn sideways on the road so she could light up the scene for the last 5 minutes she had to shoot. And she's just like so bossy. It's hysterical.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And she still does it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool stuff. So there you go. And that's just bonus small talk, because Jeff said he has an actual topic.
He has an actual small talk.
What's your topic, Jeff?
I don't know. So call me crazy, but so yeah, I went into work today. It's Friday. Load my computer, comes up, and first thing that pops up from Hilton, Google Chrome has been deleted.
Okay.
It's a pop-up from Hilton, system-wide security thing. I live and die by Google. I use everything in it, Google Docs, Google Chrome. So I'm like, oh, okay. So where we go here for? Well, now Microsoft Edge is what Hilton has decided, the platform that we're going to use. So no notice, don't tell us anything. This is, about 6:30 this morning, Friday. And it's my busiest day of the week where I do all my ordering for the entire hotel. We're still in COVID time, so I don't have department managers. So I order literally everything from rooms to food and beverage to gift shop, anything we need. And I also submit my weekly forecast to ownership. A lot of money. So I go to sit down at the computer at 6:30 this morning, log in, and Google Chrome's gone. And I live and die by my favorites in my Google Chrome. I go to the same websites for everything I use. There's probably 20 loaded in there where I do all my forecasting, all my ordering, everything. They're gone. I have this panic attack. I'm like freaking out. Like, it's Friday. We're sold out. We're busy. I've lost everything I can do internet wise. And I just, for like 10 minutes, was just completely lost. Well, I Googled it, and through Microsoft Edge, you can import your favorites from your other platform. And so fortunately, I pulled it all in. So I'm just curious, like, how many people live and die by what they save to their favorites on internet, whether it's Internet Explorer or Firefox or Mozilla or whatever? Do you just know what, like, eventually I could have gone through my email and I could have found the websites I needed to go to the purchasing platform, and I could have figured out where it all was. But it just, when it happened in the moment, I was just like paralyzed, like, oh my God, what the fuck do I do? I don't know where all my shit is. So I'm just like, do you live and die by your favorites, or you just know what all your websites or whatever you need, whether it's social, business, whatever?
Yeah, for my job, absolutely, my day job, absolutely. I save everything to favorites, and they've actually been changing platforms, and I'm like, well, I don't know how to fuck to get to that system now, so I'm just not using it. You did not make it easy for me to get there. I'm not doing it.
I did not have that option. I tried to reinstall Google Chrome, and I got a pop-up that said, "This is not compatible."
Yeah, so they're like, we
don't even try
this, and now they have like a virtual desktop they want us to use, and I'm like, I'm absolutely not doing that bullshit. It's stupid, and I've not used it. They implemented it in December. It's now whatever month it is, and I'm like, I'm not doing it because all the old things work, and that is what I'm used to, and I'm still productive enough for you to not yell at me. So no, I am not getting on your virtual desktop. Fuck off with that. No, thank you.
This was like this was like the most stressful thing I have encountered in quite a while for this morning. It just threw me.
Yeah, I'm the same thing like you, Jeff. I use Safari because I'm an Apple guy, and everything's there. I mean, that's what I use every day. I mean, everything, literally click on, my favorites, and I've ordered them. I would hate to even be out of order at this point because I'm so used to knowing exactly where everything's at. It'd be stressful to be, even if they change the order, much less like you, where it's just gone. That would suck, man.
With no notice. I couldn't believe it. Hilton controls the whole network. They monitor everything. There's websites I can't go to because they could pop up and say, "Oh no, you don't need to go here." But there was literally a pop-up in the center of my screen that Google Chrome has been uninstalled on your system. And I was just like, what?
Yeah.
So stressed me out.
That makes me happy that I am the boss of my company and that I choose what platform I want.
That's a lesson there, right? Be the boss.
Yeah. I used to use Firefox, but I was told I was outdated. And so I just recently switched to Microsoft Edge. But with the pop-ups thing, my security IT company, I went to go to some alcohol website. It was about a year or two ago. And they had just done a new system and it popped up with like, oh, this is blocked because it's related to alcohol, tobacco, or firearms. And I called them and I was like, delete this, delete it now. And they're like, oh, what website did you want to go to? We can unblock that. And I was like, no, the entire filter. I was like, I am not going to be blocked from alcohol, tobacco, and firearms in my own office. I was like,
that's all the good stuff.
Yeah. I was like, and as a lawyer, I have to go to some weird websites for my job on occasion as well. Sure. So, but with the favorites in particular, I do have some favorites, but not that many. I'm more of a tabs person. I have at least 24 tabs open usually at any time, which I feel like is a representation of my brain as well. So I just don't close the tabs. Anything I need is an open tab already. I just counted it up because I went through at the end of the day today and closed out all the unnecessary ones. And I still have 17 open.
17.
That are.
So I get that because I do that with my emails. I get about 200 emails a day at work. And so I load them, I open them. If it's something I can deal with right then, I do it, I reply or whatever. If it's something I know I have to do today, I leave it open. So I know through the course of my day, I pull up that email. I'm like, all right, there's 20, there's 12, there's 10. I get down to, all right, I've closed out all my emails I got to see. So I get that with the tabs. I do with my email.
Nice.
Same thing.
I like that method.
Yeah,
I get unreasonably angry if somebody else uses my computer and opens up like the internet and then just closes it out. Because then next time I open it, I can't restore the tabs.
Hate that.
Yeah, you don't know what you were doing. Yeah.
That's part of the reason I switched from Firefox to Edge, because on Edge you can go to history and it'll give you the tab cluster still for a while. Yeah. And so it saved my ass like 6 times that someone else will open it and close it. And I'm like, what did you just do?
Yeah. In their defense, after using it for the whole day today, I do like Microsoft Edge, but that just freak out factor at first at 6 o'clock this morning when I didn't have what I did.
Yeah, without a warning.
What?
You know what? Like, that's not a great way to start your day when you're like, the system does not look the way I expected the system to look. Like, that is not how you want to start a day.
No. Yeah. I mean, we're not 20 years old here, folks. I mean, we're over 40. I mean,
I
some of us way over 40.
I refuse to learn new things. Fuck a virtual desktop. Not doing it.
Yeah.
For me, I have no real organization, so whatever would happen on my computer doesn't even matter to me.
You're like, I didn't even know it was there.
We have 3 levels in our house. My wife's office is on the top, mine is on the bottom. And once in a while, I'll hear these screams coming from up there because something's gone wrong with her computer, whether she's lost the site or whatever. So all of a sudden, I become the IT guy and have to figure out what the problem is. But for me personally, I think I have more problems with my phone when I change my phone, when I upgrade, and I lose things.
Are you an Android person?
I'm an Apple.
Okay. See, I usually don't have an issue with my iPhones. That's one of the reasons I stick with iPhone, is that it normally transfers over just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Steve changed his phone and his computer in the same damn month this year.
Yeah,
terrible.
That was brutal. And I do Apple too, and it kept all my favorites and all that kind of stuff. But what it didn't keep was my passwords, and I didn't remember any of them. And because they make you change them and stuff like that. So I had like an early list that didn't work, and then so I changed when I bought I forget what I bought first, the laptop. So then I get life's back to normal. I get that. Then I get the phone. and it's doing the same thing. And then I got to change it for the phone, and I don't remember. I just did a stopgap when I got the laptop because because then they got the finger thing. Once you got the fingerprint, you don't have to remember it again on the laptop. But then when I got the phone, then I had to go through again, and I basically had to start over. Then I had to do it for the phone. Then I had to go back and do it one more time on the laptop and then I tried to remember them that time. So it was a nightmare.
I've had problems.
Pass.
What's that?
You got to use 1Pass. It's called 1Password. It's an app. I have like 200 different passwords in there. And you just have to remember your one master password to get in. And mine, you can use your Face ID as well on your phone.
Yeah.
And it stores all of your and you can pull it up on like a browser in your computer or on your phone.
Oh,
this would be ideal. I
would forget that one
because I literally keep every password in a notepad in like my notepad notes, and I'm like literally just steal my phone and steal everything from me because that's I don't remember shit.
For me, I had all different passwords, and when I would forget them, the password I started using, and this is not the actual password, but it'd be something like "fuck you, asshole," and that became my standard. So when I couldn't remember a password, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a fuck you, asshole" password," and sure enough, it usually works.
The couples retreat movie when he's like, "Astastic's the password." It still cracks me up.
Okay.
Mine was that I went at college. I started out, I was going to do engineering before law, and being at a science and technology school done Raleigh, the password requirements were stupid. So you couldn't use any word that was just found in the regular dictionary. And I was like, how am I supposed to come up with a password? So finally it was fuck it. And so I was like, fuck it, and put like a bunch of letters and symbols after it, and it worked.
And it worked.
Yeah.
It's funny how you default to that.
Yeah. You get frustrated. Yeah.
Hilton's the same way with their passwords. Every 90 days they make us change our password, and you can't reuse, and the system makes you do it, and it locks into my damn iPhone. So I have to change the password on my iPhone at the same time because my Hilton emails I get there, and they won't let you. Like I can't just do like hotel 123 exclamation and then just do hotel 123 2 exclamations. You can't just add to it. It can't be anything like the previous. So it has to be completely different every 90 days.
Yeah. One of my systems does that, and it's awful. And I'm like, how do you want me to remember this? Because I will not. I cannot.
Crazy. No. If I could just add the last digit or the same number or whatever and just continue to carry it out. But no, it has to be completely different every 90 days.
Yeah, I lived that world in my corporate life, and you know what I had a sticky note on the monitor was passwords. Literally, you're not supposed to have any of that. I didn't care. That's the only way I can remember.
So many people do stuff like that and get caught.
Right. Oh yeah. If they would have caught me, they would have been.
People
pissed,
used to get people get weird about that for some reason.
Yeah. All right. It is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? McNew, we'll start with you this time. What do you got there?
Okay, because we're mailing it in, I have a handy and filler. It's a bottle of fashion out of Buffalo Trace.
It is a very nice looking bottle.
Nice bottle.
Isn't this so beautiful?
The bottle is always nice.
I love that.
Yeah. So Chris bought it because he's like, I don't know what the hell it is, but it looked cool. And I'm like, yeah, it does look cool. And we've had
it some ice though if you're going to drink that.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow. That's going to be maybe impossible to beat, but we'll try. I mean, Jeff, you're next. You're gonna be able to beat that, man?
I don't know. Whoa. I'm gonna go to a goodie I haven't had in a minute, but this Weller Foolproof pick that my bar did, man, it's just fantastic. So let's
okay, that's good, Jeff, but not enough.
They want $600 for that up here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, it cost me about $59.99.
Yeah.
Not bad. Katie, how about you? What do you got?
I've got some New Riff store pick. It's actually the Deerberg's pick.
There you go. Local.
Which one is it?
Deerberg's, which is a local grocery store. Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Love that.
Okay. That was not bad, Katie, but not going to be enough to beat. Who had the good cork pop? McNew?
If you don't remember, I feel like I should win.
Well, it's we're 4 shows deep here. It's gonna happen. I've got Restoration here by Castle and Key. Their rye. Here we go.
Great pour.
Also decent, but not enough. Not going to be enough to take this. Joe, you're left.
I have batch 2 of the Bullet Bourbon, the barrel strength.
Okay. All right.
Good.
Nothing.
No, nothing.
Silent.
Well used bottle.
Yeah. Congratulations, McNew. You win this thing. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, I don't know what we're going to be talking about. We're mailing it in. We can talk about anything. We'll do that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and let's talk for a moment about our sponsors, the people that make this show happen. First up is our friends at Moonshine University. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at their office in Louisville. The information I learned through lead instructor Colin Blake and their team there is something that I continue to draw upon frequently in my role at the ABV Network. It truly is the standard of establishing a benchmark of knowledge of the bourbon industry. From history to production to brands and people, it's all there. Check out their full listing of programs, including Executive Bourbon Steward certification, production classes if you're considering starting a distillery, and much more at moonshineuniversity.com. I also want to talk about Neely Family Distillery. Back in May of 2018, I met Royce Neely at Limestone Branch's Craft Bourbon Festival. It ended up not only being the start of a great friendship, I started to truly learn about what makes craft whiskey so amazing. You see, I had been a bourbon drinker for over 30 years at that point, and like many people who had been drinking bourbon a long time, I was hard-coded into thinking big bourbon was where it was at and craft was on a journey to get there. Spending time with Royce and learning the things he does to make his whiskey taste better started to really get me to appreciate how things like sweet mashing, open top fermentation, pot distillation, and the grains you are using not only makes your product taste better coming off the still, but also out of the barrel as well. I still love heritage brands and they make up a bulk of my collection. But when you find a craft distiller that is truly dedicated to the craft of distilling, you are drinking some of the best whiskey out there on the market today. That's exactly what's happening at Neely Family Distillery today. Check them out on the web at neelyfamilydistillery.com, or better yet, stop by and see them at their distillery in Sparta, Kentucky. And now, back to the show.
I'm Davey Waltz.
And I'm Adina.
And you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we are mailing it in for Friday the 13th.
Yes, we are. So, Friday the 13th. McNew, you're into all this kind of weird stuff. Is Friday the 13th, does that mean anything to you?
So I'm honestly, I am superstitious, but I'm not really superstitious about Friday the 13th. Actually, generally good things happen to me on those days. But I get why it's a superstition. People expect bad things to happen. So I feel like they look for bad things to happen, and then they do. Self-fulfilling prophecy for most people, I think.
Okay. Well, here's what I'll say about that. I don't necessarily believe in superstition. Here's what I believe in. And tell me where this falls, McNew. So I feel like, because I play cards, I feel like you have to have some sort of superstition, something that helps you. Yeah. Because there's luck involved. No matter what you say, even if you say there's no such thing as luck, well, it kind of is. You need to have some breaks along the way. Yeah. And how do you there's things you can't control, so you look at things. But what drives me crazy, when we were in Indiana, and they announced there's a 10% chance that it's gonna rain the next day, and Heidi was like, I saw there's rain in the forecast. I brought everybody.
She brought some fucking ponchos, and then it rained all goddamn day.
I guarantee you now it's going to rain because of you, and I'll be damned if it didn't rain the next day. And she's like, "Well, aren't you glad I got the ponchos?" It would not have rained
if she did not bring ponchos.
She's like, "Yeah, aren't you glad I brought the ponchos?" Like, no, I'm pissed you brought the ponchos because you made it rain. It's all your fault.
Mine's the opposite. I feel like if I have an umbrella with me, it won't rain. But if I forget my umbrella, it will rain.
Exactly. That's what Heidi did to us. If we didn't have those ponchos, we would have been fine.
No, it's the opposite. If you don't have the ponchos, it will rain. But if you do have, but mine's umbrella, so I don't know if ponchos reverse.
Heidi cursed us, self-fulfilling prophecy, brought the ponchos. It rained on us all weekend on a beautiful property. That would be fantastic if it were not. It was fantastic anyway, but
at least you had the ponchos.
Were they all matching ponchos? Because I feel like you guys would be adorable.
They were just the clear, normal ones, whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, and then I got another one. I'm in the process of opening up a liquor store here in St. Louis. Everyone, I don't know, I've talked about this to some degree, but one of my business partners, we're going through this, and the place has been empty for 2 years. It needs some work, which is fine. We feel like because we can put the sweat equity into this thing, we're getting a good deal, but we haven't quite got our financing down. So we're white knuckling this thing, knowing that our perfect spot is available. It's been out there for more than 2 years, and my business partner literally on like a Wednesday all of a sudden has a meltdown and be like, we can't do this. We can't only pick out one spot and not look at other ones or anything like that. We have to go into the market and at least see them. And you know what? If our favorite is still that one at the end of this, we're going to do it. So what am I going to do? I want to make this guy happy. So I'm like, sure. And then the next day, this was on a Wednesday. On Thursday, one of my other business partners was like, the real estate agent just called me. The place we were looking at is now under lease. After being open for 2 fucking years. That guy did that to us. Scott did that to us.
That's exactly, you're right.
Maybe, but
it's his fault.
Yeah.
It's his fault.
It's Scott's fault.
It's
Scott's fault.
Like, I mix like the superstitious with the mundane, right? Like I'm also a planner. Like I like to have multiple options, but also, yeah, if you put in the universe, like, hey, I'm not going to get this place. Let's look at something else. Obviously, somebody else is going to get that place.
He killed us. He did it to us. Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean.
So that's the only kind of type of, I'm not into astrology and all that. You talk about a lot of this kind of stuff. I don't believe in any of that stuff, but I believe in that kind of stuff where someone just,
so you don't think people get weirder around the full moons?
No, I don't know any. I don't never notice anything about that.
People are just definitely weird, get weird around full moons.
Okay.
I agree with Jeff that they're just always weird.
It doesn't take a full moon to make people weird. Man,
just have an excuse then.
There's all walks out there.
There's all kinds of weird.
I can tell a huge difference in my office on the craziness that calls in based on the moon phase. And we're in the, what is it, Mercury Retrograde or
Mercury Retrograde's a bitch. Like,
oh my God. People have been losing their minds. Like people.
So we actually just got out of the shadow period. So Mercury, the planet, the god of communication and technology, goes retrograde a couple times a year, actually. So if you can't log into your systems because of a password, or your travel plans got canceled, your bank account got hacked, you had a fight with your spouse, your ex tried to talk to you, that's all Mercury retrograde usually. And it has a period, but it has like shadow periods, 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after. Hot mess for everybody.
And I think, didn't it go through like June 22nd or something like that?
Yeah. So we just actually got out of that shadow period. So things should get back to normal soon.
And it is like this week I've had relatively normal questions at my office, but 2 weeks before that, it was random shit of people like, I'm fighting with the city over my exotic animals. And then a person who's like, I get a call from a bank because there's a person they're trying to tell them that they're being scammed out of this and there really isn't some inheritance they didn't know about they're getting. And they're like, they're really upset. They're not believing us. So we sent them to you. I'm so sorry. You're going to have to deal with this person now, even though they're not your current client.
I didn't sign up for that. No.
Huh.
It's a thing.
It does happen. It does happen.
What bothers me with McNew's scenario here of Mercury retrograde is the fact that it happens and then it impacts you 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after. Well, that's an entire month. That's all the time. Then you can contribute anything to that, because that's, if it's 2 weeks before, 4 weeks is a month. McNew. That's basically.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely
like a yearly calendar here.
Yeah, but it happens multiple times a year, so it affects, like, things go in phases. Like, it affects you more in different phases. Like, I will tell you, every time Mercury goes in retrograde, one of my exes tries to follow me on Instagram. I have a private account. So he will try to follow me, and I will decline it every time. It never fails.
Were we in Mercury retrograde that time you fell off your chair and tried to continue the Bourbon Daily from the floor because you couldn't?
I don't know. That was like 3 years ago. I can't remember.
I've had a year that I must have been in Mercury retrograde.
Wow, from the floor. Coming to you live.
She did. McNew couldn't get back up, so she just called down from the floor and did the rest of the show from here. Yeah.
That's classic.
Oh, yeah.
I think I was on that show.
Yeah.
I remember that she just kind of like faded off.
Right.
from the screen.
You know,
There's
I was
probably not a whole
trying
lot of
to
shows
finish,
she's done
so.
from the floor. So yes.
But okay, look, I do like weird shit though. So look at this bird I got. The audience can't see it, but look at this. It's made out of barbed wire and bits. Look how great it is though.
So what is that, a raven?
It is a raven from the Raven poem.
Baltimore Raven.
Yeah, like from Edgar Allan Poe. So it's
Yeah,
from
but
like a
do you
little.
take it with you places?
No, so I actually just got it for my birthday because it was
Go
like
through
by a
airport
little
security.
artist near my parents' hometown. So yeah, it's made of like barbed wire and fence. It's a fucking raven. I'm super excited. So I was like, I'm just gonna leave it up for Halloween, but like actually, I'm gonna leave it up all year.
People freak out about the raven. If you were a Sopranos fan, if you remember when Christopher was made into the Italian mob, he was going through a ceremony and he looked over and there was a raven. Right
So
outside
there
the window,
is
and he
some bad news, actually.
Yeah. So that was part of the show that that raven being there during that ceremony was bad luck for him, of course.
But do you know how smart ravens and crows are? If you leave them presents, they'll leave you presents back.
Yeah, they'll shit on your driveway.
All birds do that, okay? My dog shit everywhere. It's fine. But yeah, they will. Like if you leave them gifts, like whatever, corn, something shiny.
So okay,
shiny
question. What do they consider a gift to them, and what would they give you back as a gift?
So if you left them out, like I don't know, some corn, like a shiny tinsel, they like shiny things. They would also bring you back something shiny, like a coin or whatever they could get their little beaks on. They do leave gifts back. Yeah, they're like the mobsters of the bird world.
Do they wrap them?
No,
Yes.
no, they just leave them in random places. They're not wrapped, but
They're not wrapped. Okay.
How do you know they really left them for you and they didn't just drop them there?
Yeah.
you just know. You just know.
Oh, you just know,
Make your
okay.
friends with your bird friends.
Have
But
you
look at
ever
this.
gotten a gift from a bird, McNew?
No, I haven't. But look how fucking detailed this is. Oh, look at those paws. No, they're not paws. What are they? Their feet.
Where did you find
Claws?
this raven at?
So it was at an antique store that I went to with my mom, and I told her I wanted it, so she bought it for my birthday. Because my mom's real weird too.
Okay.
I got a weird mom, and it's fucking great now.
My sister lives in Alaska, and there's a lot of raven stuff up there. So you kind of get into it when you're up in Alaska.
You're closer to death up there.
I guess, yes.
You could die like literally any day.
It's
in
not
Alaska,
good.
I feel like.
It's not a good place to be. There's nothing good about Alaska, really.
No, how do you actually live there and be happy? I don't understand.
No, I don't understand. First of all, so my sister lives in.
You seem like a great guy, a happy guy, but like, how the fuck are you living in Alaska, sir?
They give you
Real
cash to
question.
drive in there though.
They
Yeah,
do,
they're actually
but
paying
it's not worth
people to move there.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
No.
It's not worth
No.
it.
It's first of all, in the summertime, it's light 24 hours a day. So you think, well, okay, any place you stay has room darkening shades. No, they don't. The places I stayed literally have nothing on the windows, and the reason for that is because they want you to be able to open those windows at night because they don't have air conditioning. And by the way, in Fairbanks during the summertime, it gets to be about 90 degrees. It's hot, and there's no air conditioning in
They
Fairbanks.
have some weird weather.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fairbanks is, and another thing about you always say. Remember when you were a kid, they'd be like, "Oh, it's good that we're having a nice hard freeze this winter because there'll be no mosquitoes next summer." No, in Alaska, the mosquitoes are the size of hummingbirds. They're
Wait,
terrible.
they still get mosquitoes in Alaska?
Yes,
Sure they do.
That is an
they're
actual
huge.
hellscape. Who chooses to live there? Jesus Christ. No.
Terrible. Yeah.
I assumed that they would be bug free. Like
No.
I assumed they had
I
no
would've
bugs
thought
and it
the
was
same.
a frozen tundra.
No,
would've thought the
that's
same.
that.
the mosquitoes. The mosquitoes are like nothing I've ever seen before.
No.
That's crazy. I would assume they'd all die off in the cold.
No.
No. And everything's more expensive because you have to have it flown in or shipped in. No, thank you. Alaska sounds like an actual hellscape. No.
I have
Yeah.
heard Alaskan cruises are really cool.
Yeah,
Like,
because
just
you
to
get to
go-
see the pretty parts. You get to see
You get
the
to
white
leave.
glaciers
You get to
and
leave.
go home. You
So, like,
leave
I'm
in
not
2
either.
days.
I don't know. You'd be out there in the middle of nowhere and no one to bother you. Sounds pretty great to me.
I agree. That would be pretty darn
It's
cool.
very small doses, yes. People here are terrified about these suburban bears. I tell you what, in Alaska, they've got real bears there.
They've got polar bears.
Real bears.
Yeah, and
They
grizzlies.
got polar bears and grizzlies. These bears will fuck you up. Black bears is nothing. Really, the black bear is more scared of you than anything. The grizzly's not scared of you at all.
They'll eat you.
I think that just bears want to be left alone, and people are like, there's a bear and we want to engage it, and then they're just like, fuck you, human, you idiot, leave me alone. And none of us get that, so leave them alone.
Leave them alone. Yeah.
I do like in Alaska, there's, I believe, more people with pilot's license or that fly planes than drive cars.
They have to, right?
There's no roads.
There's a lot of people flying planes without an official pilot's license. In a lot of the remote areas, it's accepted, like it's okay. So I think that part's pretty darn cool as a pilot. So
it's like the farm kids here. Like they're like farm kids. They're like, I'm 12 and I'm driving a farm truck.
They're driving the tractor at 12.
Let that happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
They do all fly up there. So my brother-in-law is a pilot up there, and he flies around. But I don't have any interest in. There's nothing. It's nice to visit. It's for a one-time trip. Alaska's awesome. Going up there more than once? No, thank you. I don't even want to go back.
I could do like a solid 72 hours and be done for life.
Right.
I could do a week.
Cool. I saw it. It was great. Done. No, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the weird stuff is like my brother-in-law plays in a golf league, and he plays at 2 a.m.
Golf in Alaska.
Well, it's just very
2 a.m.
Yeah, because it's light. It's light.
Yeah, there's 24 hours of sun for like a week and a half.
I know, but you still have to sleep.
We've fit a year's of golf. We've fit a year's worth of golfing into a month because it's been light, and we haven't slept for 30 days.
The golf season's like 6 weeks, and if you want to play, even though 2 a.m. sounds terrible, if you want to play golf in any sort of regular league, because there's not enough courses, who's going to invest in a course when you can only be open for 6 weeks? So
we had a golf course here in New York that had lights put in, so you could play for 24 hours a day for the whole season.
So you can't do that in Alaska, though.
At 2 a.m.
No.
Why not?
No, a 2 a.m. tea time, I would be like, no.
Most people playing at 2 a.m. were in the 19th hole drinking before they got on the golf course at 2 a.m.
True.
Yeah, like the last time Chris was like, we have an 8:30 tea time. I'm like, we're going to not make that too much.
So what part of New York?
That golf course was in Long Island. I'm now in upstate. I'm in New Paltz area. But when I lived on Long Island,
great courses in Long. I lived in Long Island too. Played a lot of those golf courses, and there were.
I played a lot at Bethpage. That was a lot of where I played.
Bethpage was great. I played at Douglaston in Queens, and you could see the city while you were playing.
Yeah, I played there once. Yeah,
very
great
cool.
courses.
All right, well there you go. We just mailed it in for Friday the 13th. Be careful out there, folks. We need our audience, so we'll check out now by talking about where people can find us. Katie, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
If you'd like to find me, you should head over to Instagram at Katie Proof.
All right, Jeff.
I am on Facebook and Instagram at the Kaplan Team.
Okay, Joe.
I'll be up in Alaska playing golf at 2 a.m., but you can find me on Instagram at bourbon_aficionado.
All right, McNew.
I'm just being a weirdo everywhere, but at McNew ABV on Instagram.
All right. For me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. The important website to always remember is abvnetwork.com, because all of our information is out there. We have our virtual bourbon events. We've got our shop and so much more. abvnetwork.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the AABV Network.
All right. Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Peace.
Bye.
Before we finish the show, let's chat for a moment about Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you just want to experiment on a small scale on the stove in your kitchen or try your hand at a bigger setup in the backyard, Moonshine Still Pro can help. They have different still offerings as well as accessories and even grains from Goldstone Mill to help you make whiskey on par with what you get from your favorite distillery. They can even assist with a DIY still project by supplying some of the parts you can't make yourself. Check them out at moonshinestillpro.com. At the ABV Network, we're lucky enough to have some great friends. Amongst those friends is the Goldstein family, owners of Goldstone Mill. Goldstone Mill is a full-service mill offering a variety of heritage and heirloom grains. Their unique approach of working with mills around the country allows them to offer you affordable shipping opportunities to meet the unique needs of your distillery or brewery. They will consult with you to ensure the grains you are selecting meets the unique flavor profiles you are looking for. If you are a home brewer or distiller and you're looking for the grains that your local distillery or brewery uses, Goldstone Mill is the place to look. Check them out on the web at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or shoot them an email at hello@goldstonemill.com.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.